G'day guys, how are we all today? Welcome to Jason and Julia.
Hello.
And today we have a special guest, Mick
Winn from Latrobe Valley Paranormal Detectives. Welcome, Mick.
Thank you. Thank you, Jason.
Thank you for coming on tonight.
Well, thank you for inviting me.
No, it's our pleasure. Yes, so Mick, do you want to talk about you? We want,
just tell us about yourself, mate.
Yeah, just say.
All right. Well, as you can tell, I'm male, 49. I live in Moe in Victoria, in the Latrobe Valley area. I'm a carer by day for my mum, and at night I'm a paranormal investigator.
Good stuff.
I've run Latrobe Valley Paranormal Detectives now for 4.5 years, since the start of 2017, and we've done mainly private investigations, though we have done a few publics. We've taken part in a few tours, and it's actually really a lot of fun. I have a lot of fun doing this and helping people.
So question for you. How did you get started in the ghost hunting world?
Well, I've always been interested in the paranormal, Jason, since I was in my teens, actually. Ever since I had a pretty nasty car versus push bike accident where I had I was told I got hit by a car that did cut the corner while I was sitting on my bike, and from what I was told by the witness, I did a perfect arc in the sky and landed head first into the gutter. Luckily, I had a helmet on.
Yep.
Otherwise, I wouldn't be here to talk with you, I don't think. But I've always been aware that there's something more to this life than just our physical beings, and I've seen things and that. And after my father passed on, a friend of mine and I, we've been talking about ghost investigations and ghost shows, and saying, we should get a team going here. And we talked about it for probably a couple of years, and in the end I decided, well, stuff it. Enough talking, now it's time for action. And on the 2nd of January 2017, I started setting up for LVPD, or Latrobe Valley Paranormal Detectives.
Can you remember your first ever investigation?
Yep. Hello, whoever it is. Someone said hi, Mick, so I'm just saying hi back.
Hey, Stephen Webb.
The first investigation I did was actually with another team called Spirit Investigations. They're from Frankston, and we did the Spencer Hotel in Spencer Street, and that was interesting. It's a pub/backpacker place, and that was when I first dipped my toes into paranormal investigations. But the first actual investigation that my team did as a team was probably the scariest as well, because it involved children.
Yeah.
And whenever a private investigation involves children, it's always a worry. And when you get drawings from a 6-year-old girl that shows someone supposedly flying, but with blood coming out of their eyes, and an 11-year-old boy is stressed out by the voices he's hearing so much that he gets to the point where he wants to commit suicide.
Oh God.
That was because of people that had lived there for probably 100 years beforehand, and found out they'd actually killed their children, and it was the ghosts of the children that were haunting the place.
Wow.
So
that's phenomenal.
That was here in Moe. So
wow.
And which is actually on. I'll put some of the footage of that on my YouTube channel, which is also Latrobe Valley Paranormal Detectives LVPD.
Yep. Yeah, so everyone that's watching, Mick has his own channel. So I just suggest if you want to see these videos, like, share, and subscribe, go over to his channel and have a watch because he's got some amazing stuff there, guys.
Thank you.
That's all right.
I try to put out quality stuff there, but I don't do it very often, unfortunately.
Well, it sounds like
often.
life's really busy.
Oh, it's mainly because I'm looking after my mother. She's 84, so that takes up a lot of my time.
Yeah,
So,
it would do. And hello to Jackie. Thanks for being our moderator today.
I think I've got her as my moderator. I'll just double check.
Yeah. You haven't.
No. Trying to click on her. So what do you like to use when you're ghost hunting? What kind of equipment do you like to use the most that you get more success from?
well, the K2 meter is always comes in very handy. I've found. We were using the PSB7, the Spirit Box, but with the abundance of apps out there at the moment, that is available to everyone now. It's becoming easier. I was enjoying using the Kinect camera as well, but since GhostTube has come out as an app that has its own SLS camera on it, it actually makes it a lot easier. You don't have to carry a laptop or a tablet and a Kinect camera with you, and you don't have to try and have a power source for it. You know, you've got your phone, bang. You know, if you're going to have a long night, you just take a power bank with you, and that's it. There's that. I like to have a medium in my team, at least one, and we've got 2 in ours. So, and we've got sensitives in our team. There's about 7 in my team at the moment. So, 4 that are full time and 3 3 that are available when we if we need them. So, and we try and get everyone as often as we can involved in every private investigation.
Okay.
What is your funniest experience being a ghost hunter for so many years? What's the funniest one that you can remember that you thought it was a ghost, but finding out it wasn't? But what is the funniest moment for you?
Laughing.
They've always been, they've usually been hauntings, but we haven't had one yet where it hasn't been. We've had one where only one job that they didn't actually ask us to cleanse the place. That was nearer the start of the year in Traralgon. So, but the funniest was this one. We were doing the top of a block of flats here in Moe, and it was really strange. Like, we caught with the SLS camera, we caught the ghost dancing on top of a stove top, and the guy was actually cooking noodles at the same time, and we kept thinking this ghost has got the munchies or something, because he's hovering where this pot was where this guy was cooking his noodles and stuff.
That's bloody funny.
So yeah, that was probably the funniest one. That was what came to mind as soon as you asked me that question. That was pretty cool.
I think with us, it's been when we were at the cemetery in Richmond. He had his boo bear, and it talks, and I didn't know he had it turned on, and I'm just looking at the graves in the dark, and all I heard was this "hello" like this, and I nearly shat my pants. I just started screaming.
Oh,
He's
no!
ready to punch somebody, and I realised his bear was on, and I went, "I didn't know your bear was on."
Yeah, that is.
It's just you don't expect that in the dark.
Yeah, I can understand that. That would definitely. Me too. You're like, what?
Because I even told her I turned the bear on when I got out of the car. So I'm walking into a cemetery with a teddy bear in my hand, clicking it on. She's in front of me in the night, and all you hear the thing saying hello, and you hear her screaming. And of course, me thinking somebody's there. So I spun around, and there's nobody there. So,
that was pretty funny.
Oh no. Yeah, that would frighten the crap out of you, wouldn't it?
Yeah, because you just don't expect her, and in the pitch black, and it's always spooky when you're at a graveyard at night. And yeah, I mean, I'm an empath, so I always feel them there, even though I can't see them. And just wasn't expecting something to go hello rather than shit.
Yeah, that would do it for me too. If I didn't know it was on, I'd be like, "What the hell?" I'd be looking around me going, "What's going on? What's going on? What the hell?" I would have had to sort back after 30 seconds, I think.
I'm just wondering if any of the guys have got some questions that they'd like to ask either one of us.
Yeah, feel free. I'm up for it.
Yeah, I've got really bad eyesight.
G'day. So somebody's saying hello to the group.
Hello.
Hello.
Congo Blue.
Yeah.
And thank you for watching, everyone. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you for joining us. Yeah, and if anyone wants to start up a team or anything like that, I mentioned this before we started. If you're going to buy anything off eBay, do not look straight away at anything that says ghost hunting equipment, because you're guaranteed to be paying at least double, if not triple what you can buy if you look for it in the normal thing.
Here's a question for you, mate.
No, I haven't had my name actually. I've had team members' names mentioned, but never my own name. So they excuse my language that I'm going to use in a minute, but the one common thing that they love to tell me is get out, get fucked, fuck off. For some reason, they really don't like me. I don't know why. I don't know what their problem is. And they never mention me by name. They just tell me to fuck off or get out. I don't know why. I haven't even started, and they're already telling me. Maybe they know I'm trying to get rid of them, or I don't know. Maybe
Here comes
trouble. I don't know. Maybe the grapevine in the spirit field is stronger than I thought. But yeah, I don't know. It always seems to come across that way. But yeah, they always tell me get out, fuck off, get fucked. You're like, no, you get fucked, you fuck off. You need to get rid of you're causing people problems. That's what we're here for. They're here to help you cross over. Get out of these lives. Don't tell me to fuck off. Rude bastard.
I think Jason got liver lips one day.
Yeah.
Have you had that happen as well? I don't think there's going something out there yet. You have to be told to get out or piss off or whatever.
Yeah. Rookwood's my favourite cemetery, but I'm guaranteed to be told to fuck off at least once down there.
Yeah,
doesn't matter where you are or how nice you are, they tell you get nicked.
Hang on. There's another one for you. Hang on. Here's another question for you.
French.
Oh, yeah. Well, that just leads into what I just said before. Yeah, I've had a lot of times where, we've been told, like I said, we've been told to piss off, get out, get F off, all that sort of thing. So it's quite common to have that.
Yeah, they're a bit grumpy, aren't they?
They are at first. And then eventually they'll open up and they'll talk to you. But yeah.
Up there, mate. You got to sit up there.
Oh.
You took me off my toys. Yeah, well.
No wonder cats get pissed at spirits. Got a
I've got to get mist off my toy. Yeah, I was just saying, Balana, that's my sister, by the way, everyone. Yeah, she lives in Adelaide too. So, Yeah, we're going to have to get 2 packs of those cat balls because we've got 4 cats. So,
Oh,
yeah,
so-
one for the box, one for them.
yeah. You got to be fair to the cats at least.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got to get some of them too. Actually, I mean, there's a couple of team members. Well, they're their own team actually. Horn Central Paranormal. You know.
Yep. I've heard of them.
Jody and Kyle Hanford. They've got the cat balls for the team. So, but I've got to get some as well.
$12 on eBay.
I've been trying to find them on eBay, but either I'm
Just
not
look
looking
up
through
cat
enough
balls.
pages. Okay.
Cat balls. $12. I saw them the other day.
All right, because I was looking for them. Was it yesterday? And I couldn't seem to find any. They just come up with a whole heap of other crap, and I'm like, this isn't what I asked for. You know, really. And it's just amazing. You type in something to search, and they'll give you everything
Else.
To start with. And like after looking through 2 pages, I thought, nah, bugger this for a joke. So I'll have a look when I've got more time. So,
what is probably your weirdest experience being a ghost hunter that you've ever experienced? But for now from from your experience, for your weirdest one.
That's a good question, actually. Let's come to think of it. I don't know, because they're just about all weird anyway, in one way or another. Have I been touched? Yeah, I have been touched at the location down at Edward Hunter Reserve down here in Maui. That place is haunted by kids that died, that drowned there when it used to be a swimming pool before they actually built a proper one. That would probably be the weirdest one, because it just, the space. You could go anywhere in that place almost around the dam and get something, and get a voice or a stuff that comes up on either the apps or the PSB7 or Necrophonic. But yeah, when the ghosts, the weirdest thing is when the ghosts tell you how they died. You know, it always feels strange. It's like, ooh, it always gives me goosebumps when they tell you that. It doesn't happen all the time, but
yeah,
we had one where she must have drowned after going off the 10-foot diving board, but she said she was pushed, and she mentioned the name of the other girl who pushed her.
Wow.
And it's like, oh, okay. So, yeah, it's a bit freaky when that happens.
That was like when we did our last video, and I was at the Davenport area, and I was reading, because I was looking up the history, so I knew what I was talking about when we did the video. But I read that a lot of the old Sydney jail convicts that got hung there had been buried in unmarked graves in that cemetery. And then when I was asking questions, it came through convicted.
G'day, UK.
Really freaked me out. Hello.
UK.
How are you?
And g'day from Sydney, and
G'day
from Maui from Victoria. So,
and thanks for coming on and saying g'day.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you got any questions for us?
Yeah, anybody can ask any questions. Doesn't matter what. There's no such thing as a dumb question. So if you've got a question you're not sure about or anything, ask away.
Yeah. And if you have an experience you want to share away too.
Yeah.
What I found weird in your last video was when you found the grave with your name on it. It was like, hang on, what? Julia King. Oh, here's a Julia King. What? Luckily, unfortunately, King is a fairly common name. Wynn is a very rare name, and I haven't I haven't seen my name, luckily, not even my last name, on a grave yet. Thank goodness, touch wood. But but yeah, when I saw that on that video, when you did that investigation at Rookwood, I was like, yeah, I'd be freaking out too, seeing that. And like, oh, hang on.
No, I actually saw it as a sign because we found her before we married. We were boyfriend and girlfriend then, and we'll just, as us romantic paranormal people do, strolling through the cemetery. And I was deciding on whether to say yes or not, and then I found the tombstone. I said Julia King, and I went, there's a sign. Bit of a romantic story there.
Yeah, they would send chills. They would send chills though at first. They're like, oh, okay, a nice sign, but yeah.
Yeah, I didn't get freaked out. I don't know. I feel comforted by it somehow. I don't know. Maybe it's her vibes, I feel.
Maybe, yeah. Hopefully she passed away peacefully, and
yeah, she's from the old freed convict section, the Irish convicts. And when we were in that section ages ago, we had the ghost box, and a different language came through. And because that graveyard is so diverse, it's got so many different areas, I just didn't click to what it might be. And we had this Irish guy walking down the road, and he goes, what are you doing? We said, oh, this is our ghost box, and blah, blah, blah. And anyway, he listened to it, and I said, oh, look, there's a funny language coming through. I don't know what it is. And he goes, they're talking Gaelic. They were talking Gaelic to each other. Yeah, and they told him to go home and have a drink. So he goes, I think I will.
Fair enough. Good advice.
But you know what? Because they were convicts at one stage, I wondered if we tapped into a bit of history, like when they were in the systems, all the jails and stuff, did they speak Gaelic to each other as a code so the prison guards wouldn't be alerted to what they were talking about when they planned escapes or anything like that?
Possibly.
Yeah.
They just want to hope they didn't have an Irish jailer with them, or
Yeah, true.
Otherwise they'd be stuffed. So
yeah. I know what you're planning.
Yeah, I'm wise to your plans, people. Watch out, boys. I know what you're up to. So yeah. No. Well, here in Moe, we know Christmas is dead because I found the grave of Santa. There is actually a grave. It's a husband and wife, and their last name is actually Santa. And it's a big marble thing. The nearly foot high letters embossed on the front. But you can't miss it if you're walking down the road in there. But yeah, it's like, what the hell, Santa? And then you go up and say, oh yeah, it's such and such Santa, and his wife such and such Santa as well. Like, oh, yeah, that's the weirdest grave I've seen has been that.
The weirdest tombstone I've seen is Death, Death. There's a cemetery in Carlingford, and there's a Mr. and Mrs. Death. I know the woman's name was Elizabeth Death, but I can't remember the husband's. But I thought, imagine having that, Mrs. Death. That sounds so, I don't know, foreboding, doesn't it?
A bit more,
but I change it.
Can you imagine them being introduced at a party? Oh, hello, here's Mr. and Mrs. Death.
It'd be okay from party or anything.
Yeah, they'd be fun at Halloween, wouldn't they?
I would. Hang on. What's that? Hang on. Here's another one. Somebody just put a comment up. I worked with a Dr. Death years ago.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
Was that guy that was in Queensland that got arrested? Or was he a real Dr. Death?
Well, there's that one doctor, was it Dr. Kevorkian in the States, and he was known as Dr. Death. He was the one that was helping people he was helping people euthanize themselves.
Yeah, well, there was in Queensland. There was a guy that was a taxi driver.
A real doctor.
He decided to be a doctor.
A real doctor.
Wow. I wouldn't let him operate on me. I'd be freaked out. As soon as he said, I'm Dr. Death, I'm here to help you with your operation, I'd be like, no way.
He's surgeon.
No way. I'd be like, pass.
I want a second opinion.
I would not feel confident. Oh, my goodness.
Man.
I wouldn't feel too confident with that either. Like,
he's operating on you on Saturday. I've got Dr. Death. I'm all good.
Yeah, that'd make you get up and walk out, wouldn't it? Well, as long as they hadn't used the anaesthetic yet.
Yeah.
Right. I'm out of here. See ya. I'm feeling a lot better. See ya. No problem here.
Feeling great. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, no.
When I worked in the post office, there was a Yugoslav guy. His name was Mr. Fuck. In Sydney somewhere. He was Fuck. When I worked in Wynyard Post Office, yeah. We all used to have a smirk over his surname. Imagine getting pulled over by the cops driving or something and go, I'm Mr. Fuck or fuck you or something. What's your name?
Yeah, that would be. It would have been even weirder at the post office, you know. Is fuck off or on this shift?
It's actually a legal statement. Look at my surname.
Yeah. Oh boy. No, that would be. You'd want to change your name, wouldn't you? If you were here in Australia with that last name.
I would. I think if I had that last name, I would be straight down and get that name changed immediately.
Yeah, definitely. You couldn't go around with that name. No, not in Australia. Too many people would just take the piss out of you.
Imagine facing the judge. What's your name? And you say it. Stop swearing at me. That's my name.
Yeah, I know. Like the cops too. Hey, you're not supposed to swear at police, but that's my name. What do you want me to do? Stop swearing at me, I said. No, that's my name. You asked my name. That's such fuck. I told you, right, that's it. Get out of the car. You're coming with us. It's my license. It says it here on my car. Look.
Now, I've got another question for you. Do you have any up-and-coming investigations that you got coming up for yourself yet?
Well, we're looking to do Rosedale Cemetery soon, actually. Hopefully before the end of the month. We'll be doing that probably Facebook Live. So look out for that. That'll be done through the page. There's also Latrobe Valley Paranormal Detectives, LVPD. So we're still figuring out which weekend we'll do it, whether it be the 24th or the 31st. Pardon me, but yeah.
If anybody wants to ask us some questions, I know we've got a couple of new viewers come through. If you've got any questions you want to ask me, Julia, or Mick, to ask us a question. Doesn't matter what it is. Yeah. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and both pages and share pages. You know, we don't mind. You know,
we'll put a link on for your channel, Mick, after the live feed. So if anyone wants to look over, they can just go for the link. Yeah.
So, what's your investigation, Jason and Julia?
Which one, the scariest or funniest, or which one?
Funny. No, funny. I haven't spent the night over. I have spent several hours, but usually I'm out by 3 o'clock. So,
the longest?
No. Someone just asked a question. Have I spent the night at a haunted location? I haven't spent the night, but I've spent like I said, I'm usually out by 3 o'clock. So, but I do leave static cameras around to see what we can catch. So they never actually spent the whole night, like from dusk till dawn sort of thing. I haven't done that.
What about you? Have you done
Yeah, I've done Monte Cristo
that all night?
at night, and after the investigation, you can walk around. They're like outside, but you can't go back inside the place itself where you did the tour. But I didn't really see anything. I got a couple of good photos of stuff there, but apparently the rooms you stay in, like kids or so, meant to jump on top of your bed. So me being me, I was getting excited. I'm going to get woken up. I slept like a log. Nothing happened to me. I was disappointed.
Well, that's no good.
It was like
I've heard the same about Monte Cristo, that, you know, it's supposed to be the most haunted place in Australia, and
no. Look, I've been there, and it's haunted. I won't dispute that, but I think a lot of the hauntings are residual.
Yeah.
You know, they're not intelligent hauntings a lot. That's just me. I mean, I don't know if anyone has been to Monte Cristo and had intelligent hauntings there. Feel free to let us know.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you can go to a place and it's flat, and other days you can go, it's really active. So,
yeah,
and that's haunted places. You know.
Oh, the freaky one that I remember, that actually the only one that made me jump out of my skin was Arrowdale, and it wasn't because of a ghost. It was actually, we heard noises, and it was a possum that was trapped in there at Arrowdale. And you could hear it. And then, because we were sort of split up doing this tour sort of thing, and part of my team went elsewhere in another part of the building, and they actually got frightened by a bat that came out of nowhere. I'm thinking, hang on, is this Arrowdale or the Addams Family house? What the hell's going on?
That happened to you once, didn't it? Oh, no, it happened to me.
Yeah.
In another cemetery, I could hear like someone running behind me, and I turned around to face whoever it was, but then this huge bat just flew nearly on my head, you know, and freaked me out a little bit because there was no one running. I couldn't see anyone, but I could distinctly hear footsteps running behind me.
Okay.
Yeah, and this bat flew past my head. Bit like Dracula or something. It's not really what you're expecting. So
it maybe you turned into a bat just before you turned around to see him, and
shapeshifted.
Yeah, exactly. Shapeshifted before you could see him properly. I'll mess with this woman's head. Don't you worry. I'll turn into a bat.
Yeah, well, it freaked me out. That was the night I locked myself in the car. Yeah, I was actually scared. It was just so creepy that night. And I've been there before and I've been there since. But that night I was just on edge. I locked myself in the car and I could just feel like someone standing outside the car staring at me and wanting me to go. And Jason's like skipping through the tombstone. Get back here, don't take me on my own, because I just felt so uncomfortable.
Could you just imagine that? Could you see that?
Just jumping around. And there's Julia like this up against the car window. Going, get back in the car.
And yelling out, "Get my butt back there now!" And I'm going, "What? There's nothing wrong. There's nothing there."
Could feel it.
Yeah. Oh, it happens. It does happen. I know.
Yeah, you can go to some places and you always feel warm and welcoming, and then you might go there one night and it just feels sinister, like you're on edge waiting for something to happen.
Yeah. I was thinking tiptoe through the tulip, but tiptoe through the tree sounds more appropriate, actually.
Hey, I was happy. I was in the cemetery at night going, wow, look what's going on. There's black orbs going everywhere. And then when she's in slamming the door and screaming, I'm going, what?
What's
I
wrong?
just had
Wrong?
on the back of my neck up. It was like, oh God, I can't stay here. It was just like someone was staring at me through the window and just had a really evil face or something. I was like, oh my God.
But I eventually got her out of the car. Took me a while, but I got her out.
Yeah. Do you
What
call
about
people to let them know that you're doing these things in the cemeteries? Like, do you get in contact with the cemetery trust or the police?
No, look, we've had the police come out and we just show them our business card, and some of us just laugh. Well, some of them just laugh at us. I mean, we don't go to ones that are locked up, obviously, where we've had to break and enter. That's a no-no. But if the cemetery's an open one, anyone can walk through there as long as we're not causing any trouble and touching and disrespecting. They're happy to let us be there. They usually have a good laugh. We just show our business card and go, we're just ghost hunters, and they go, okay, have a good night. So they just leave.
Yeah, I usually try and let the cops know because, you know, I don't want people calling up saying, oh, you know, there's a bunch of people running around, making noise, flashing their torches around and stuff like that. So I usually let the cops know if I'm doing cemeteries, and if I can, I'll get in touch with the cemetery trust, because sometimes they can give you good information that you can't find over the internet via, say, you know, sites like Trove and things like that. So, and the cops actually have some good stories of their own.
Yeah.
Ruthie and I did Jenny Dixon Beach. We went to Toukley Police Station and let them know that we were doing it. And there was a female copper there, and she was saying that she used to train by running up and down the stairs there at Jenny Dixon Beach. And she said that at one time she actually saw an apparition, a full-bodied apparition there, and
wow,
went around them thinking they were an actual person, and then when she turned around, that apparition was gone. So it's amazing how many cops have actually had their own paranormal experiences. So because I'm good with the cops down here, they know me fairly well down here now, which is good.
But you're in a country town, aren't you?
Yeah, but I mean this is Toukley up on the Central Coast. So
okay, yeah. If it's Central Coast or like country town, I'd let them know. But being Sydney, they don't care. Honestly, if I tell them, they're like, meh, whatever. So we've asked the churches before, is it all right if we go through your cemetery and take photos and that? I mean, that day we did that video, there was the priest, I think, walking around, and we said, we're just here, you know, doing some videos and doing some pictures. And he goes, no worries, you know. I mean, up here in suburbia, they pretty much don't care as long as you're not being a nuisance to anyone. You know what I mean?
You're not doing any damage or anything like that. Because
no disrespect. I mean, Brookwood's heavily guarded at night. They have like chub patrolmen driving around, and it's all locked like Fort Knox, so they're not going to let you in.
Central Coast don't have time to care any either.
Yeah.
And I've usually gotten, when I've spoken to the cops, I've always gotten a good. I've always had a good rapport with them. You know, they've always been, no worries. Oh, and by the way, this happened to me, or you know, I'm like, oh, okay, cool. And
as long as they're full in the open grave.
They've always been nice to us. I mean, when we were in the cemetery down at Richmond, we had the police come out one night. They weren't even worried about us. There was a camper van down in the cemetery, and they were more worried about him. What's he doing in here? I said, well, he's not part of us. But he wasn't worried about us. He just looked at our business card and smiled. Yep, have a good night. So,
and I'll usually call them when we're leaving the place too. Like I'll say, right, If anything happens from here on out, it's not us. We're leaving.
That's a
now.
good idea. Yeah,
You
no,
know?
that's a fantastic idea.
I just found it just makes it easier that way, because
Yeah.
that way then, I'll say that instead of them having to come out, they can just call me, and because I always give them my number and all that.
Yeah.
All my contact details. So
There's CCTVs at Wookwood. Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's also patrol guards. I know the caretaker very well. So, it's patrolled by Chubb Patrol. There's usually about 4 or 5 cars there at night.
okay.
And they patrol all night long because there has been, vandalism out there in the past, which is really distressing. It's horrible.
Yeah, you don't want that sort of thing going on in the cemetery. I find that very disrespectful if people are
Me too.
trashing tombstones and things like that. I mean, I get the feeling they've done that to one in Walhalla. They've actually removed the tombstone because
the cemetery name isn't Mr. Death.
Hey?
I'll put it up here for you.
Oh.
But the caretaker's name isn't Mr. Death.
No, his name is not Mr. Death. I won't say what his name is because he lets me in on the sly sometimes. That's how I've got him at night.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
I was wondering,
he's letting do night investigations there, but on the low.
Yeah, on the down low. Fair enough. That's good.
Have you ever, when doing a ghost hunt, how you got your torch and you shine it around and you see these 2 little red eyes looking back at you and you're going, what? And then you put it down, it goes, and you shine your torch around and it's in somewhere else, and you end up finding it's a bloody cat or something looking back at you, and your heart's going boom, boom, boom. Have you ever had that done to you?
Yeah, because we're in the country here, more often than not, it's usually a possum or something. So it's kind of like, all right, cool. It's not too bad. But yeah, a lot of the times you wonder, what the hell is that? You see these 2 red eyes peering out of the distance. So then you walk up and get a bit closer, and then the torchlight starts to show a bit more of what's around those eyes, and there's a furry body with it, and okay, it's a possum. No worries.
Yeah.
So,
I've had a cat jump out at a vault, like a alley cat jump out of a vault, and it was like an open, the old type ones where sometimes the ground's fallen away and there's like a little area, or like a pocket that goes where the vault is.
Yeah.
Well, my friend and I went ghost hunting at that cemetery one night, and it was kind of funny because I heard her scream. I came running up to see what was going on. She said she looked at the vault, saw the crack, and then saw 2 green eyes staring back at her. And next minute they moved forward, and it was a black cat. She said she just saw 2 eyes.
Ooh. Yeah, exactly. It's when it starts coming towards you, then you freak. Yep.
Yeah. She was like, are they eyes? Next minute they came towards her and she just screamed.
No, the only thing I've seen coming out of one of those is a black snake. And that was at Narracon Cemetery. That was during the day. But yeah, same thing. The ground had fallen away underneath the grave, and it was one of those ones, that was completely covered with concrete and marble. And yeah, this snake slithered out of it, and it's like, whoa, what the hell?
I would have been in heaven.
No.
And Julie would have been back in the car in about a second. She wouldn't have touched the ground.
You might have ended up in heaven if that bastard had bitten you.
Yeah. I hate spiders too. I'm always paranoid if there's trees, I'm going to walk in a web.
Yeah.
So.
And then you do shit, where was it? You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Try and find it. Hang on. Is it on me? What the hell's going on?
That's happened to you on one investigation with me. You walked in the web and And I spotted the spider on the side. You go, it's on the tree.
I hate spiders. I was scared of
Luckily,
spiders
it
and
stayed
they
on
were
the tree.
ghosts. So
Yeah,
have you
luckily, it
ever
stayed
been
on the tree.
scratched or anything, Mick? Have you ever been attacked?
Pardon?
Have you ever been scratched or attacked?
I've been pushed. That was actually down at Edward Hunter. I've had members of my team slammed into walls.
Wow.
And this was at a private investigation in a little unit, a little 2-bedroom unit that we did a private investigation at here in, it was here in Moe, yeah. 2 of my team members, and there were 4 of us there. 2 of us got pushed. 1 got pushed straight into a wall. So,
Wow.
but usually they leave me alone. For some reason they don't usually attack me. One time they usually just tell me to F off. But it's only at Edward Hunter Reserve I've been pushed once. But a lot of other people that have gone down there of a night time. I had a friend of mine who used to live down the street. He used to walk his dog of a night time down there, and he said he'd been scratched and pushed and stuff like that, and grabbed. Like he felt one night someone grabbed him by his collar.
Wow.
And his dog was oblivious.
Last week.
Yeah.
I got scratched. My first scratch last week.
Oh.
Yeah. It was my fault because, I just had a voice come through the ghost tube saying hate. No, what do you hate? You hate being here? Do you hate being dead? Do you hate me? Tell me to bugger off if you hate me. And I wouldn't say anything. And I said, well, you have to do better than that. And, and then I got home and I went, oh, something's hurting me. Oh, I've got a big scratch on my arm.
Well, you know the old saying, be careful what you wish for. This might come true. And obviously it did that night. God.
I thought it'd be good if he starts yelling whatever he's pissed off about through the app so then I could record it. Would have made good viewing.
Oh, God. Thank goodness that was all he did then. Jeez.
Yeah. Oh, look, we do protection things between us. We put on a protection before and then afterwards before we leave. So that's very important for anyone that wants to start out ghost hunting or paranormal investigating. Always protect yourself, guys, because they're not always friendly on the other side.
No, that's true. They're not. Yeah, we do the same thing. We do usually the prayer of St. Michael as well before we go in, and I've got my cross with me.
Yep.
And I've had this blessed by a priest. So, I've got tourmaline with me usually. So, and so do my team members. They've all got tourmaline as a protection stone. So, yeah, protection, you definitely need it because you don't want to have something attach itself to you and come home with you to cause more dramas and stuff. No.
That's true.
Nobody got time for that, so to speak.
Yeah, no, we always do protection before and after.
Yeah.
We bring holy water. What else? Salt. I use salt and the Bible when I do cleansings.
Yep.
We always call on Archangel Michael, but I call on Gabriel too because I've always had an affinity with him growing up because I've always been psychic, and whenever I felt scared of the dark as a kid, I had Gabriel come through. So I always call on both of them. It's very important for anyone that wants to do it. Just learn, whatever religion you are, just protect yourself. Because some of them can be pretty nasty.
Oh, yeah, they certainly can. That's for sure.
I've got another good question for you. Have you ever been somewhere where somebody tells you it's meant to be very, very scary and stuff like that? So you build yourself right up to it, thinking, yay, it's going to be scary, and get there and then look around and go, what's so scary about this place?
Another good question, actually. Not really, actually, because I don't know. I'm just pretty calm when I go in to places. So I do know what you mean, though. You know, you sort of you get apprehensive and you think, oh, you know, this is going to be an awesome place. But funny enough, it's mainly some of the cemeteries. You know, they say, oh, it's going to be haunted, and no, there's nothing. And it's like, oh, okay. So that's probably about the only places, is cemeteries, you know, the odd cemetery at that. So
I find cemeteries, it's touch and go. Like it can be,
yeah,
one night it can be really active. Like the last time we went to the Windsor Church for the YouTube, it was boring. We had a couple of people come through saying you got a camera. They didn't like the camera for some reason. And then before that, we had the camera, but we're only taking pictures. We're doing an investigation for ourselves. It was active as. So it just depends on the night too.
yeah, yeah, true that, because yeah, I found that too. Like I like having a look sometimes here at Moe Cemetery, and some nights it's, dare I say it, it's dead, and other nights it's you know, you can get all sorts of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. You can feel the angriness or the aliveness.
Yeah. So it is, yeah, like a horse feeling you're afraid when you get on its back and take control. Same with spirits. Keep calm. Yeah, keep calm, I think they mean, and be in control. Yeah. Pretty much.
It's like, yeah. Yeah.
I'm
You know,
back.
it's
Rid of my
You're
brother.
right.
Calming
That's
back.
Jackie.
Oh.
Welcome back.
Welcome back, Jackie.
If you got any questions, Jackie, to ask us, you know, you can ask anything, you know that.
Yeah, go ahead. Feel free. No questions too big or too small. So, so to speak. So, you know. And of course, you know, if you do an investigation and say you're a smoker or you're taking a drink with you, like a cup of coffee or something like that, make sure you always take your rubbish away with you. Don't leave it there.
Exactly right.
That's what we do too.
And also on investigation too, like me and Julie always say, be always respectful for what we do. You know, like you don't go there and, you know, and swear like a trooper and stuff like that. Go in there with respect and give them.
Do enough of that for you.
Yeah, they'll swear at you, but try not to swear at them.
Yeah.
We swear at home, but
yeah.
But yeah, not. We try and be respectful because we're walking into their resting place. So
yeah, exactly. You're on their turf, so you got to sort of go by their rules. So, you know, so to speak.
Yeah, it'd be like someone random walking in your house and start swearing. You know, you'd be going, get out.
Do you guys have like a ritual you do apart from the protection thing? Do you guys have a ritual that you do before you go? Like, is there something you do before every ghost hunt? With us, it's actually going to Macca's and getting a large cappuccino. That's what I mean. Something so small.
Oh, something normal.
Yeah, something normal.
Well,
yeah.
we earth ourselves.
You what?
Earth ourselves by having something to eat or a coffee or something like that. Because I'm kind of spiritual these days, but I used to be Wiccan. So whenever I opened a portal, I'd shut it and then I'd earth myself. So I'd, you know, go hug a tree or something, but get onto Mother Earth and ground myself.
Yeah. No, I don't know. Since my medium Alison joined us a couple of years ago, and she lives not far from the Moe McDonald's, and the McDonald's is right next to the entry, the freeway entrance. So we always end up going there before we do any investigation, be it private or public, and we'll go there and go through the drive-through, get a large cappuccino before we head out to a job, or to do an investigation. So.
I think ours would probably have a coffee and then probably a cigarette before we walk in. Have a cigarette, hold hands, do a prayer, and then we're ready type thing.
we'll usually we'll do the same. We'll have a cigarette, do our prayer, and then go in. When you guys do a cleansing and blessing, what, without going into too much, very good, very good. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Ghostly findings, paranormal, very, very true. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And we always say thank you, spirits, at the end before we leave.
Yeah.
We say thank you, spirits. Please stay here. Do not follow us home.
Yeah. We always do too. You know, even if they tell me to F off, I still say thank you because they're talking to me.
Yeah, exactly. If they're willing to communicate, then I'm happy about it. I'm grateful, so I'll say thank you as well. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. So at least they came through, even if they were rude to me. I'm happy.
Exactly. At least you got something, you know.
Yeah.
I remember a long time ago, has this ever happened to you when on an investigation? You put something down on the table, you know you left it there. It's like equipment or a torch or something. And you go away, you come back, and you want it, and it's gone. And you spend all night trying to find it, and you go, I give up, I can't find it. And you walk away, and you come back, and it's sitting where you left it.
Yeah,
yeah.
The weirdest thing I had with that sort of thing was, I remember we were doing an investigation and I had to change the batteries in my spirit box. So I took the battery cover off, I put it down, and when I changed the batteries. When I went to put the backing back on, it was gone. I found it about 6 months later in the bag that I've got my instruments in, you know, including the spirit box. And I'm thinking, I know I didn't put it in there. I had it on the table at this investigation. How the hell did it end up there? And I'm sure I'd looked in that bag as well, at least a dozen times, and it wasn't there. And then, like 6 months later, it showed up. I'm like, what the hell is this? What's going on? So it was really weird. And I couldn't understand how the hell it happened over such a long period of time, or after such a long period of time. It didn't make sense. So yeah, I've had that happen too.
So what's the
No, we go to Macca's before we go to the job.
No, what if they want to come to McDonald's as well?
As long as they
we go there before, not after. Oh yeah, some ghosts are definitely tricksters. Yeah.
Yeah, they are.
But anyway, getting back to what I was asking before we got sidetracked there. When you do your cleansings and blessings, do you do that on the same night as your investigation, or do you do that on another night?
Yeah, no, we start our blessings and cleansings when we're at the location before we start. And then before we leave the location, we do our closing one before we get in the car, because we don't want anyone to hitch a ride.
Yeah. No, that's fair. No, that's fair enough.
What about yourself?
No, we usually do it as a 2-nighter, where we'll do the investigation one night, and then the next night that we go there, that's when we do the whole thing. We'll do the cleansing, we'll do a saging, blessing. I even do an anointing. Fun fact: I actually do have I do hold a priesthood, so which gives me the authority to do blessings and anointings. I can even bless people, which has helped in the past. So now you wouldn't know that I've got a priesthood, or the way I act sometimes, but and the language.
To be a priest like that, I mean, you know, you don't want someone that's all, I don't know, stuffy, and you can't talk to them about anything.
Yeah.
I mean, I believe in God and the higher good and everything, but yeah, I'm just an average person. I don't think you have to be all prim and proper to believe in God, you know.
No, and I mean, you know, we all believe, if we believe in a higher source, it doesn't necessarily have to have a name. It doesn't have to necessarily be God. I don't believe that it has to be, it could be divine source, as it's known to some people.
Yeah.
Or, or God, or Allah,
Yeah.
or,
That's it. That's why I just say higher good,
Yeah.
because it's whatever suits the person's beliefs.
And I got this priesthood well before I even started doing paranormal investigations. I actually got it when I was living in Perth many years ago, back in '97. So, and I've never practiced as an actual priest, but I use it. It gives me the authority, like I said, to do certain things. So,
Oh, Jackie's a naughty girl.
Oh, what's happened?
You what? Let's put it up.
I've got really bad eyesight, guys. I can't see the little writing, so I wait for it to go up.
Never cleanse.
Never cleanse. Never take crystals.
I'm bad. I know. I sort of don't believe in it. Plus, my crystal bracelets leave welt marks. I have them in my car. How does that work? Yeah, that's a start. Having it in the car will help make sure they don't follow you home. So,
yeah, but I have heard Jackie say in her videos, "You can't follow me," so she's already taking control too. So
yeah, exactly. So just
and everybody who's watching, definitely follow Jackie Ghostly Findings Paranormal. Great content in her videos. You'll love it. We watch them all the time. So
very
definitely
interesting.
Yeah, very, very interesting.
Yeah. Okay. All the ones that have channels that follow us, we follow you guys too. So
yeah,
we're right into Para-Unity. I believe that there's enough haunted places there for everybody to love and share. I'm happy to help anyone that's starting out or give them a shout out. Yeah, that's the way I am. So,
Yeah, same here.
You'll find some teams in Sydney. They're a bit territorial, but not us. We don't care.
Yeah. Well, that's it. There's enough places for everyone to to go to and enjoy. I mean, it doesn't there doesn't need to be a monopoly about it. It's just there for everyone to enjoy. There's so many places that are haunted that really there shouldn't be a need for a monopoly on them for one team or another sort of thing. Everyone can do it.
I think I like to find the less common places too, because a lot of places in Sydney are well known, like the Quarantine Centre and all the big haunted places that are well publicised. But I always like finding the less publicised places, the ones that you wouldn't think that may be haunted. I like finding those.
Yeah, same. I like them too. And being here in the country, there's a lot of little out of the way places that are like, you just drive past it. It's like, oh, I didn't know that was there. I'll have to give that a look in one day. Or so it's good fun. Half the fun is actually finding these places, and then you do the investigation. So
yeah, well, that's it, because I love history too. So if I see an old place, I want to look at it. I want to check it out, find out what it's all about.
Yeah,
I'll wait for it to come up. Yeah, I remember you telling me, Jackie.
Yeah, that wouldn't be good.
Look, we all live and learn. Jason's had attachments. I think one thing about this business, you soon discover the good as well as the bad. I was always psychic as a child, and I didn't know at the time, but you know how sometimes psychic children get like something nasty that tries to haunt them all the time? What do they call it? I wasn't possessed or attached, but I had something always tormenting me. It was one of the houses that we lived in was very haunted, and I knew it was there, and no one else in the family would believe me. They all thought I was cray-cray until things happened to them. But it would get off on tormenting me every night by lifting up the end of my bed or switching my night light off or doing stuff like that, or pulling the quilt off my eyes, stuff like that. But my mum was Catholic. My dad was a non-believer. So I learned to protect myself through prayer. That's how I had Gabriel come through when I was a child, because I'd be praying and praying, and I had one day a voice come in my head, because I'm clairaudient, ask for Gabriel, and I did, and after that I didn't have that problem anymore. So what do I call it? Psychic attack, is it?
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, that'd be a psychic attack.
Yeah. So I've always had that when I was very young to my early teens, until I learnt how to protect myself. So, so I've always been someone that before I do anything that's creepy, but even though it frightened the hell out of me, it still gave me my taste for my paranormal. I was fascinated. Why did this happen? And why do I see things that other people don't see? But at the same time, it taught me how to protect myself.
Oh, fair enough. That would be freaky, especially as a child, having that sort of stuff happen.
I remember being as young as 5 and having soldiers march in my room, with the gun over their shoulder, and they'd be marching. And even Indigenous spirits, I didn't know who they were at the time. They had painted faces and they were doing the dance, and they'd get closer and closer to the bed. And I'd be one of those kids that had the quilt going higher and higher over my face. My mum did do a history check on the land, only because I kept nagging her, there's something wrong here, there's something going on, and all these things are happening. And she found that the land that we're on, because we're part of the Darug land, it was near a corroboree site. So maybe the ancestors were doing that and was surprised they could see me and I could see them. But yeah, it was like, that movie, The Sixth Sense. When I was growing up, that's what it was like for me. I could always see them. And I was terrified of it, to be honest. And I used to pray for the site to be taken away, because I was just so scared. At one stage, I wouldn't even go to the toilet at night unless my dad stood at the door. And he thought I was absolutely nuts. I used to get smacked for it. But, and now I don't see them, but I feel them. I think my fear took the sight away. But every now and then I'll see something and I'll go, Jess, did you see that? And he can see them because he's a medium. And he'll go, yeah, I wondered if you would see it, So it might be slowly coming back now that I'm ready for it, but I've always been able to hear them. So.
Yeah. No, well, it might be coming back, because, I'm finding too stuff that I used to see when I was younger, or, it disappeared for a while, but now I'm starting to notice. I know because I'm becoming more spiritual in my old age. I don't know, but I'm starting to notice that too. That I'm starting to sense and see things more than what I used to.
You've got a question for you.
Okay.
I'll just bring it up. Just look at the TV screen. And I'll just bring it up now. She'll be up there in a minute. Come on, TV. TV's a bit slower.
That's awful. Did he grow to understand over time? No, he died a non-believer. Actually, he had a near-death experience. A few months before he died, he had a stroke. And he had one of those experiences where he floated and saw himself and the doctors working on him and he could hear. But, he didn't understand when I was growing up, and I ended up moving out at a young age, just get away from the house. And then things happened to them. My mum woke up in the middle of the night because they had separate bedrooms, and there was an indentation of the bed, like someone was sitting at the end of the bed, and she could feel someone glaring at her, and she knew it wasn't anyone else in the house because she could hear Dad snoring in the other room, and she realised that what I'd been saying all along was true. that there was something going on, and Dad actually got tossed across the room, but he just reckons he had a nightmare.
He knows better now.
Yeah, I think he does.
Yeah, true. Yeah. No,
But,
I know I've had my dad visit me since he passed away. One night, like I live in a caravan in my parents' backyard, but I used to be at the front. And about 8 months after my dad passed away, I was going through a pretty hard time. I'd split up with the mother of my two youngest children. We're going through family court. It was a messy thing. It was so messy. And I was getting really down about it and all the rest of it. And I remember one morning I woke up at about 4 o'clock. It's a call of nature. And I've gone back to bed and I could hear someone breathing. But it wasn't a hard breathing. It was like the breathing of someone that's being asleep. And I've gotten up, back out of the caravan. I've looked on the street. No one there. Looked under the caravan. No one there. And I could never actually place where this breathing was. As soon as I thought I was getting close to it, it was at the other end of the caravan. So I'd go up there, then it'd be at the other end. I was going back and forth. It was driving me nuts. But it ended up actually being very calming. And after about half an hour of this, I ended up falling back to sleep. And when I woke up later on that morning, it really threw me out a bit. It was like, oh, okay. And it took me a while to sort of realize what it was. And I thought, oh, that was Dad, because it was his kind of breathing. Because I looked after him until 6 days before he passed away. Then he had to go to hospital because he died of lung cancer. I know I shouldn't be smoking, but no, well, I'm hoping to give
my
it up.
dad died. He's smoking too. He died of vascular disease, and he always said to me, "Don't smoke," but I smoke as well, so I'm guilty as charged. So
yeah, same. So, but yeah, there's that. Have you ever been? Here's one for you. Have you ever been haunted by a deceased pet?
yes, I have the ashes of my pet rabbit. Believe it or not. I loved him to death. He was a big rabbit. He was one of those Holland Rexes.
Oh,
and I
yeah.
loved him to death.
Big,
and
floppy
unfortunately, he got, really big, like, think of Brer Rabbit, big fluffy thing. Anyway, but I loved him so much. Anyway, but he got really sick. He got Mixo because they spray the bush around here in Australia for Mixo. Unfortunately, we can't vaccinate our pets against it in Australia. They don't have the vaccine here. And I had to put him down on my birthday, and it was the worst day of my life. And I've got his ashes here. And a year after he died, I could feel him. And we often get glimpses because the cats hated him. Every now and then the cats will arch their back and run across the room, and we feel that bear's around chasing them.
Yeah, I've got that. I had a border collie called Count. He was a crazy looking dog. He had one brown eye, one blue eye, and he had this way of looking at you that really looked like he was crazy. But he was a gorgeous dog. He was an amazing dog. He passed away a bit over 2 years ago, and when it was hot, he dug himself this huge ass hole underneath the caravan, right underneath where my bed is, and I can still feel him bumping the edge of the caravan as he's going, as like he used to when he'd go in underneath the caravan to get out of the sun. And every once in a while I'll feel this bump, and there'll be no wind. There'll be no one else around. I'm in an area where nothing can touch this caravan. So, it's, oh, wow.
But it'd be comforting that he's still there.
Yeah.
Even my beautiful dog was seeing me one day. I was at the friend's house, and I saw him sitting there next to my car. Oh, That's beautiful, Kanga. Like proof that
he-
he's still there.
yeah.
I was about to say, is any of the ones watching? Did they have like a cattle dog, a red cattle dog? Because it's the one I'm feeling. I'm seeing one in spirit right now, so I'm wondering if anyone's had a red cattle dog or knows of one that's passed.
Not here.
Wait for this to come up on the TV. It's a bit delayed. There we go.
I don't think so.
My coming here telling me it wasn't my
He
fault.
came to
Oh,
say
that's beautiful.
goodbye. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. Thank you for sharing that, Kengo. I love stories like that.
If anybody's got any stories they'd like to show, to tell us, tell us, and we'd love to hear your stories of experience or things that have happened to you. Please show us all.
Yeah, and Jeff on the Road Australia, what made you interested in the paranormal? He's got a channel too, by the way, so please look him up. So
yeah, definitely. On the Road of Australia, he's got good contacts. He's got some good evidence in there. So yeah, definitely give him a follow, like, and yeah, check it and comment on his videos.
Cool. We'll have to definitely check
My
that
boy
out.
was a mini Foxy.
oh, nice.
Okay.
Well, I don't know why I got the red cattle dog, but I felt him. Because we have cats. Oh.
So anybody want to share their stories with us? Don't forget to like Mick Winn's, Facebook page. Just tell people your Facebook pages that you got again, so they can come along and come and like all what you got in YouTube.
Okay. Well, I've got my YouTube channel, the Trove Valley Paranormal Detectives -LVPD. I've got some of my cases up there. I've also, hang on the road. Oh, he had a red cattle dog.
Oh, did you?
Oh, there we go. On the Road Australia, it did, yeah.
I felt it. I could see a red cattle dog. I said I'm a medium, and things come through sometimes. And because we were talking about dogs, a red cattle dog came up to me, and I felt it was someone that was watching. So, thanks for confirming that, Jeff. Had a goat. I love goats. Oh.
Is that pun intended, Kanga Blue? I had a goat for many years as a kid.
No, I love goats. I love.
Yeah.
You know what? I love any animal that's sassy and naughty. I love goats.
Anything with an attitude.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
Bunnies are very cute, but can I tell you, they're quite naughty. They're very cat-like, and they're real buggers, aren't they, Joe?
Oh, yes.
Rabbits. That you wouldn't think this cute little thing that's going to twitch its nose is going to be up to anything naughty, but they're buggers. Absolute buggers. My one used to love chasing the cats, and it would charge my daughter when she was hanging out the washing. And bushes like a little rhino.
Very sassy indeed.
It was a sassy boy. He was very naughty. He even broke out of his hutch. This is before I got him desexed. Jumped on my bed and peed all along the window. Yeah, I can imagine. And apparently that was a sign that he liked me. He wanted to, thought I might have been a girl bunny or something. But I took him to the vets and got him sorted, and he was a good boy after that. But, yeah, he used to headbutt the hutch door until it flew open, and he'd come out, and I woke up 3 a.m. with this thing oinking, jumping around me because they've got like a soft oinking sound. And he had peed all along the because my bed was against the wall, peed all along the wall, around me, as if to say, this is my turf, don't you touch her. Couldn't believe rabbits did that.
Well, just as well he liked you. God knows what he would have done if he didn't.
Well, I didn't really think being peed on in the middle of the night is a sign of life.
Yeah, I wouldn't have thought that either.
I went to the vet and I went, what's going on? And she goes, he likes you. And I went, well, can you fix it? Because I'm not a rabbit.
Yeah. Mm.
But he,
here she comes.
Yeah.
The floor squeaks underneath her feet.
So, Kenga, do you have a pet now?
A second. I'll be back in 2 seconds.
Cool. I'll do the same. I'll grab a drink.
All right. I'll read these questions while I'm... It's just that I've got really bad eyesight. No, he wasn't a house-trained rabbit. He was a bit naughty, but he had an indoor hutch. That was to try and keep him away from mozzies. Yeah, I love goats too. I just love them. You got 2 dogs and 2 cockatiels. We've got 4 cats, 1 rabbit who's house trained. He lives in an indoor hutch as well. And we've got a cockatoo. My rabbit was called Bear. And what was the goat called?
What was he now?
Oh, they do. They do. They're very cat-like. You can house train them with kitty litter too. If you have an indoor bunny, you can teach them to go to the toilet. Oh, cute. That was a nice name for a goat. Above me, yes. Yeah, there's a cat up there.
There's a cat beside
There's a
her.
cat here.
Hey, I'll just turn the camera
This
around.
one's my boyfriend.
There he is.
He's got his claws into the couch. That's Jack. He's very not pleased with me at the moment. I've just woken him up. And Jason's got a black
I'll go
cat.
and get her. Hang on.
Yeah, that's his girlfriend.
There you go.
Jack follows me everywhere and always has to sit next to me. And Cleopatra gets in between us all the time and wants Jason all the time and gets annoyed at me if I show him any attention. Oh, really? You don't like cats? Cats always scratch you? Oh, he sounds beautiful, Kenga. Yeah, that one's Sally above me. We've got Sally, Jack. They've been named Sally and Jack from A Nightmare Before Christmas. Yeah, Cleopatra's the black one. She's got the shits at the moment. And we've got Alice, who's in the room with my daughter. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. She was 32. Oh, beautiful. With the butterflies, so she was free. Butterflies is always a sign from spirit. My sister, she died at 38, and I always get a butterfly to let me know that she's around. My smarty girl died in my hands. Oh, I'm sorry. It sounds like you've had a lot of loss. Oh, butterflies are always sign of spirit, Jeff. But they don't have to be white ones. With my sister, she comes in a blue butterfly. Blue was her favourite colour, and she was born in Queensland. And I know it's her because we don't have blue butterflies in New South Wales. So we only have one type, and it's not a real blue. The one that always comes is like a tropical blue. You've seen it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
That's true, Kenga. It's true. And I believe pets come back. Like, I don't know about you, Mick, but do you believe in pets reincarnating to another pet to come back, or?
That's never really thought about it, to be honest. I know that they come back as spirits, but never really thought of them. I suppose so. I mean, why not? If people can be reincarnated, why can't pets?
Yeah.
So
I have heard of cases where people have lost a pet and they've loved that pet so much, and they've gotten a new pet or a puppy or something, and it's got a very similar personality, or there's signs that
true.
it'll
do something that only the pet that they had before used to do. Or that's true. Come to think of it,
yeah, Dog's Journey. Have anyone watched that?
Can't say I have. Sorry.
If you ever want a good cry, sit down and watch that.
Very good.
It's so emotional. It's about this dog. There's a dog's journey, a dog's purpose, and I can't remember what the third one is. 3 series, but they're so good.
Oh no! If I want a good cry, just look at my bank statement. Especially with eBay. It's like, oh no, I overspent again. God damn it!
When we cross over and leave our loved ones and pets again.
I had that only the other day on Friday. Like, oh no.
Yeah. Kate was saying she had a dream where all the spirits, the ones that she knew. I get that a lot. I think it's because when we leave our shell, we all do look the same. Souls don't really have. I think when we capture spirits in photo, or when they show themselves as ghosts, they take on a form that we're not going to get scared by, or something we're going to feel familiar with. But orbs and mist and other sort of shapes is pretty much a soul. It's just energy.
Yeah.
Goodbye, power bullets during COVID.
Power bills, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we've got a fireplace. We save on electricity that way.
No, I can't have a fireplace in my caravan, otherwise the whole thing would go up.
Yeah.
Or you'd be saying it's too hot in there. You'd be swinging all the doors and everything open just to keep cool.
I've learnt my lesson with that. I've got an air conditioner in here now, so I had a portable one, but it crapped itself, and it was just before we had air conditioners changed in the house. So I took one of them and I put it in the caravan, cut a hole in the wall, and I've got it right at the foot of the bed. So that if it's hot, I'm nice and cool in my bed.
Cold enough for a heater. Newcastle.
Okay.
Is it Newcastle? So you in Newcastle, Sydney?
Yeah.
Or Newcastle somewhere else?
Newcastle.
UK?
I don't know. No. Kangaroo, you're Australia. She's called Kenga.
Yeah.
Is it nice and warm up there? You're lucky.
Oh, it's
We're down
freezing
near
down here.
Windsor.
Our nights have been between 0 and 2 for the last, or 0 and 3 for the last couple of weeks, and it gets cold very quickly over night time.
Do you know what? We love Victoria. We would have lived there. We were going to actually move to Victoria before the COVID hit.
Yeah.
But now I don't think we should because there's probably going to be no jobs down there.
No, well,
Your customers, so about 140 enough, yeah.
Yeah.
Up the way from you.
there are still some jobs, but COVID has stuffed a lot of people up with jobs down here. I mean,
yeah, because my best friend lives down there. She lives in Melbourne itself, and then we've got family in Victoria. So we love it down there. I just love the countryside too. But I just feel that it's not going to be much point now because it's going to be hard enough starting again when they're in a kind of like a recession down there.
I'm going to say goodbye to everybody. I have to get up early in the morning. No worries, Jackie.
Oh, thanks for being on, Jackie.
Thanks, Jackie, and we'll talk soon. For sure, Jackie. We'll definitely catch up soon.
Nice to meet you, Jackie. Yeah.
Just wondering if anyone's got any questions or what makes them interested in the paranormal. Do any of you guys have your own channel, the ones that are listening? Or do you do paranormal investigating? I know Jeff does.
There we are.
There we are. We're back.
I was there for a bit, and I'm like, hang on. There's no background noise or anything. It's like, hang on.
Do you travel in your caravan?
Do you travel in your caravan?
No. It's not even registered. This thing's probably older than me. So it's an old Viscount caravan. I'd say probably from the 60s, going by the shape of it, the way it's been rounded. The only thing I know about the history of this thing, of this caravan, was that I bought it from a bloke in Leedale several years ago, and he bought it from a convent in Bunyip.
Oh wow!
And there were two of them. But I think hippies must have used this before, because if you have a look, you can see the colours of it. This thing, orange, green, and purple. And there was nothing in it except for a single bed and a wardrobe, and the cupboards that are around the top, of course. So I've had to basically furnish this thing myself. I've got bookshelves in here mainly and all that. But luckily I've got a garden shed that I can put a fridge in. I've got a garage where I've got toasters and coffee machines, kettles, all that sort of gear. No, I wouldn't travel in this thing anyway. Too old.
Oh, we've got what's our one? It's not a Viscount. Yeah, it would have interesting history in the convent.
Yeah, but the carpet in this, though, it's that real crappy green. And another reason why I think the hippies must have owned it, because I swear there's a big bong water stain in the middle of the carpet. People were sitting in here having sessions. I'm sure of it.
What were these nuns up to?
Yeah, well, none of your
maybe
business.
That's why they're always smiling and full of faith.
Yeah, that was just none of your business, I think. They didn't want anyone to know. It's probably snuck out here have a couple of bongs and quickly go back into their convent. I don't know.
Oh, we have an old Franklin that's
I knew
unregistered.
you were going to say green.
Oh, yeah. Well, I suppose kind of goes with the territory. I think with this caravan. I don't know.
Happen nunnies, yeah, hippie nuns.
Yeah, nunnies. Yeah.
Yeah, we've got an old Franklin with an annex down at the coast that we bought last year when COVID hit, so we had a place to go to if we couldn't holiday anywhere interstate.
Yeah.
Lime green.
It's actually got a lime green door.
Mm.
Yeah, I like it. I'm the only one that likes it, Kenga. No one else does, but I like green. That's my favourite colour. But everybody comments on the horrible lime green door.
Oh, this one's got a purple door.
A purple door. Well, that's spiritual.
Yeah, it's not the original door though, because it's got a normal handle on it, like your normal house.
Yeah, like a turn door.
Yeah, with a key lock, but
Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
just your standard kind of door handle. But yeah, it's when I got rid of this, because it only had a single bed in here when I got it, as I mentioned earlier. So I put a double bed in here. The problem is it actually goes a bit over the door, so you got a little space where you almost got to go sideways to come in, or you got to have one long stride to get into the actual caravan itself. So it's a little bit of a tight squeeze.
Oh, cool.
But it's only because I've got a queen size mattress on here. If I get a double bed mattress, it'll make it a little bit easier to get in.
I'm green too, but the blue side isn't green like.
I like aquas and turquoises. Oh, so you like the aquas and turquoise. I like that colour too. I've got to admit, I like all greens. My birthstone's green because I'm Taurus. That's an emerald. So, yeah, I like all shades of green. Green's nature, so I just love it.
Yeah. I must admit, my godfather came from Gippsland. He's originally from Yarram. And my parents used to take me on holidays down here all the time, and that's why they ended up retiring here, because they were living in Melbourne originally.
Yeah.
And, yeah, when it got to the point where they needed someone to look after them, I was only too happy to move up here, because it's just a totally different way of life, It's healthier, because I just love it, because it's got forests around here. We've got tree ferns not that far away. We've got rainforest, believe it or not. Down here.
No, I know. Yeah. Are you down the where's Gippsland at? Down near Mornington way or?
No, that's the peninsula. No, Gippsland is Moe, Morwell, Traralgon, Sale, Bairnsdale, all the way to the border. Basically, anywhere from almost the edge of Melbourne's southeast suburbs, all the way to the border. That's East Gippsland.
His cousin lives at, was it Castlemaine?
Yeah, Castlemaine, there we go.
Castlemaine.
Yeah, that's central Victoria.
Yeah, and then my sister's over near the border of New South Wales and Victoria. She's in Tumbarumba on the New South Wales side. But we actually went to Gingellis the other week. This is before lockdown, and we actually snuck over the Victorian border because there's a bridge separating New South Wales and Victoria. So we crossed the bridge and went, ha, we're here in Victoria, and then went back over the bridge again. So we're scared we'll get pulled over.
No, fair enough too, because they're getting pretty strict on that, eh?
Yeah, but Mum and Dad, they emigrated to Australia from Europe, and they originally came from Victoria. We used to live in Sunshine.
Oh,
and, yeah, and then they, my auntie still lives down at Maribyrnong, but she's been there all her life, so this is, before it got a bit rough, but, yeah, and I used to live down at St Albans when I was a kid.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, So I went to St Albans East Primary. So I always remember Victoria being beautiful, nice countryside. I've got a niece in Shepparton.
Yep.
So, yeah, we've got lots of people. And my best friend lives at Point Cook. So,
Yeah.
So we don't really know anyone in Sydney, do we? It's
No,
just
really
us.
not.
Besides
Yeah.
the kids, it's just us. So, that's the one thing we miss with COVID being on, off, on, on, off. We've been wanting to go and see our mates, but we're stuck here. So
It's kind of hard to make plans with COVID. I mean, that's why we haven't done any public investigations.
Yeah, same here. But got a question. Have you ever found a grave at a middle of nowhere? You didn't know it was there. You look up the history, found nothing, but you don't know why it's there?
No. I have found graves in the middle of nowhere. I actually did an investigation at one, but we were able to find stuff out about that one. So that was up in the mountains, the grave of Kitty Kane. And she was supposedly quite a character in her day. She was a bit of a bawdy woman. She owned a little sly grog shanty during the gold rush. This is out between Valhalla and Aberfeldy. She was a big woman. They say she was about 22 stone.
Their family
She was a bit of a burlesque dancer. They say she was a prostitute when she was young, and there's a bit of a story about her death too, because when she died, they had her body at her Sly Grog shanty, and she was very well known in the district. She even had shares in one of the mines.
Wow.
And of course, because she was so well known and loved by the people in the area, people came from all around to help take her to the cemetery. The cemetery is about 5 k's away from where her grave is.
Wow.
The problem was, of course, everyone that came were all a bunch of pissheads. And of course, on their way there, they'd stop at all these other Sly Grog shanties that were out in the bush. So half of them were pissed when they got there, and if they weren't, while they were there, they were getting pissed. And when it came time to start carrying the coffin, of course, with her being such a big lady, they got about 100 metres and thought, stuff it. So they just buried her on the side of the road. And then went back to her Sly Grog shanty and kept drinking. And, but
that's a good story. I like that. No, we don't know any family graves. Don't know about any family, but I know about lockdown. We actually had plans. Well, we've had a few plans on and off the last 2 years to travel interstate, and then COVID's gotten in the way. So we've kind of just concentrated on our own backyard at the moment.
Yeah.
Safer.
True. You don't need
Got
to get
a question for you. That me and Julie are going to be doing this soon. Have you ever done the 3 o'clock challenge?
Which one? There's quite a few. From what I've seen, there's a few of them that I've seen on the on YouTube. So which one?
Oh, look, I think just pick a place. I think it's just the time 3 o'clock challenge, because it's supposed to be the thinnest veil between the two worlds at 3 o'clock in the morning. It's the witching hour.
Yeah.
So have you done any investigation starting at 3 or?
I usually leave it around about 3 when I've done publics. 3:30, 4 maybe is the latest, but yeah, I usually find after midnight. That's usually when I found the
gets most active.
Yeah, activity half night, and 3 o'clock you do get a fair bit. So I've noticed that down here at Edward Hunter when we've done investigations there. So and they've usually been pretty full on at times around 3. So.
Yeah. I think it was more just to see if it, because a lot of the times when we do our investigations, it's usually anything from about 10 o'clock onwards, sometimes until the early hours. And we just wanted to know if there was a difference, in the time.
It kind of goes back to what we were saying about how some places, some nights you'll get plenty of activity, some nights you'll get nothing. It really depends on the place more than anything else. So, but yeah, I found where there is activity, 3 o'clock it does get, it can get pretty full on. So
Okay.
it's like all of a sudden they all want to come out and
play.
Come out and play, yeah. For want of a better way.
Well, I'll be playing, and probably Julie will probably saying, she'll be in the car, come on, we're going to go.
I'm actually not that.
Yeah.
Look, I was the biggest scaredy cat
You
when
have
I
improved.
started.
Yes. You have.
Only because it would bring me back to when I was a little girl and they would terrorise me.
Yes. You have.
And I've learned to have a spine and say, push them back and say, no.
You have.
I need my space.
Yes.
So.
You have.
But he gets really excited if they're evil. He's like, and I'm like, oh, no.
I'm dancing to the car with my equipment in my hand going, yeah, we're going to have some fun.
Yeah. So are you going to do it?
Yeah, we're going to do a 3 a.m. challenge soon. It's just at the moment while it's locked down, I mean, we thought we'd do the live chats for now. Try and keep in touch with everyone. But yeah, there's a couple of places in the 10-kilometre radius, so we've already thought about. So if they lift some of the restrictions, because only until last week you could go somewhere, but you weren't supposed to go far.
10 kilometres.
Yeah, and then you're supposed to stay in regional or Sydney Metro. You could travel anywhere. That's why we picked Rookwood. But now we're not allowed to go anywhere other than essential, like when you had stage 4 lockdown in Melbourne.
Yeah, you can only go out for food, doctors, work, or care. I think that was the reasons that we had down here when we had that. And we had it, you couldn't go further than 5 kilometres.
Yeah, well, that's what we're copping at the moment. So in the meantime, we'll just do live, channels, and people are welcome to talk to us and ask us questions, and we'll always try and get someone to come and join us. So you don't get bored with us. Like I said, we're on about Para Unity too. We're about promoting everyone else. So
explore in a cemetery.
You can exercise. Well, this is true. That's why I was in Rookwood. I actually bought a bunch of flowers. So if I did get questioned, I was visiting, which I was basically. I was visiting a lot of people, just not one. And it's a big enough place where you can get lost. I mean,
you don't have to worry about social distancing.
It's not a problem in that place. Hey?
Exactly.
Yeah, you can hide behind a tree. No one's going to see you. We stayed away from the newer areas. So if there was anyone there grieving or visiting their loved ones, we weren't bothering them. That's why we stuck to the older side.
Big family.
Yeah. That's it. I love them all.
I just ran out of flowers. Give them to everybody. Can't you see the flowers are shut? Because I bought all the flowers.
They ran out of stock.
We actually have a railway station near us that we know of a couple of deaths in the church records. And there's one section of it where the crossing it's very creepy at night. It's everybody always feels like there's something about to jump out. Someone's actually seen something. and you just feel creeped out when you go in that area. And we found recently, because we drive past a lot, a mysterious grave sitting there. So that's one thing we were thinking of doing.
Okay.
It's only a couple of kilometres from us, so we thought, well, that's something different, because I like to change places and I thought that's something that'd be different. I want to find out why it's creepy there. Is there anything there, or is it my imagination?
Yeah, true. Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
Was it at Mowbray train station?
Ingleburn station is haunted. Was it a morgue train station there? No, not where we are. No. We just know of one that was an actual suicide, and I don't know what happened with the other one, whether it was accidental, but they're both buried in the church we went to, and they're in the church records. So we don't know anything about the grave there. It's quite mysterious. I couldn't find a thing. I've looked up newspaper, everything. Can't find anything. So
Fisher's Ghost would be good.
Yeah, look, at the moment all the museums are closed.
I believe Rookwood had one. There is one.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, if you have a look at our Rookwood YouTube, I did put a picture there of the station.
Yeah.
That's in episode 1.
Yeah.
Yeah. Forgotten.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the actual station is now a church in Canberra. It's called All Saints. There was actually 2, and there's one in Redfern too.
There's 3 stations at Rookwood.
Yeah, one's in Redfern. That was the mortuary station. That's still there, but it's not running, obviously. And the actual other stations in Canberra, they transported it down there and made it into an actual church.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yeah. I wish they still had the train. I reckon that'd be cool.
Yeah.
I think what I love about it is I love anything Gothic anyway. I love history, but it's got all the Gothic sort of statues and things out there. It's kind of cool. So.
Yeah.
Did you? You worked at the mortuary station. Did you get anything there? Ainsley, Canberra. Yeah. Did you get any activity there, Jeff?
I can find him online if you want me to.
Yeah, do you want to hop on?
Would you like to hop on, mate?
Come and join us.
Because if I post a link up here, just click on it and just put your name in. You shut this down and you'll automatically come into, okay? Would you like to come on board, mate? I'll change this to 3.
Yep. More the merrier.
Okay. I'm going to post this link up for you.
No activity. That's disappointing.
There you go, mate. Just click on that. And
he's about to go to bed.
Oh,
well, good night, mate. Thanks for talking to us. And, we'll meet up one day for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, Kanga. It's a bit disappointing. Well, we probably won't stay too much longer.
We'll end the live and have a chat with him a little bit more, and then we'll get out of here. So I'd like to say thank you to everybody who joined.
Thank you. Made our
Thank
night.
you for coming along and having a chat with us.
And a big thank you, Mick, for coming as our guest speaker for the night. And, feel free to come any night that we're on. You're always welcome. And if you ever do get over the border when it's COVID-free, if you like fishing, Jace will be happy to meet you down at our caravan, and you're welcome to stay there anytime.
Okay, so what we're going to do, guys, we're going to end this live so I can continue on talking to Mick. So subscribe to both of our channels, go through our contacts, and again, a big thank you from me and Julie and Mick for joining us. And hey, stay tuned, guys. Love to meet